Hello everyone, welcome to Savi channel. In this video, we will be going to learn about organizing and staffing. I am your course instructor S. Manjunathachari, Assistant Professor, Department of ECE, Sai Vidya Institute of Technology, Bengaluru. Agenda of this video is to know about organization. First point we will be going to look at is what is organization. That is nothing but meaning of an organization. What are the characteristics of an organization we will be going to learn? What is the process and what are the steps of an organization we will learn? And what are the principles of the organization we will learn? And what is the span of an organization we will be going to learn in this video. To set up any organization, the backbone of the organization is idea. Searching of ideas is the first step. Next, after searching of idea, it has to be planned and divided the work to employees of the company. If the tasks are completed, then the final step is to check whether the task is completed within the specified time or not. Meaning of an organization can be given like this. It is a group of people working for an attaining specific goals, or it can be defined as process of identifying a group of people who perform and define and delegate responsibility and authority to establish relationship between an objectives to come into a reality is called as an organization. Characteristics of an organization. The first point is verifiable objectives. In planning process, the objectives are verified in such a way that it has to be implemented or not. Next one has clear idea of major duties or activities involved. A person who is planning need to know what is the major duties involved in the objectives, and it has to be classified into jobs. What are the duties it has to be required, it has to be converted into jobs, and it has to be given to an employees, and you need to create an establishment of relation between the jobs. You can see here this is a small example of organization. First there will be an CEO and followed by directors of finance, director of HRs, director of marketing and director of operations. Under them there will be again a managers of each region, and below them there will be subdivision workers over there are an employees. The process of organizing is nothing but designing of an organization structure. The manager differentiates the activities of his organization. First step is differentiation. Here differentiation is nothing but the process of departmentalization of or segmentation of activities. It has to be done in the basis of the homogeneity is nothing but the similar activities performed in a departments. Next one, it is an integration. This is the process of achieving unity. Once the activities are done in a departments, it has to be unified. It is called as an integration. In differentiation and integration, we have a 7-step procedure. First step is consideration of objectives. The company head or organization head should know what are the objectives of an enterprise or organization. Next, the objectives determines the various activities need to perform or need to build the organization. What are the activities to be performed in the organization? Everything objectives determines. Next, organization determines the intents of diversity of products, whether the product has to be sold in a single territory or various parts of the country. For example, the objectives of an educational institute may differ from other business enterprise. So, objectives plays important role to decide the what type of an organization is it. Next step is deciding organizational boundaries. The one should know what is the boundaries of any organization, what are the things or what are the activities needs to define inside the company and outside the company of any organization. Next, you need to know what is the things or goods need to manufacture or need to buy for any organization. You need to make strategies to align with other firms to grow its profits. Need to have different kinds of interactions with other companies. In any organization, grouping of activities into departments plays an important role. Yes, how we will be going to do is nothing but a group of activities which are similar, then that group can be divided as sections or departments. So that plays an important role such a way that all the similar activities is done at the single point. Sometimes diversification of activities are closely related to a group which can have an effective applications to be completed. For example, in a mechanical sections or a mechanical department, molding shop or molding workshop are separated depending upon the machine molding, or that is automatic molding, and hand molding. Depends on the activities performed, the grouping is done. The next process is analyzing interdepartment relations and deciding which department will be a key department in an organization. Yes, we need to know which department plays a vital role in achieving goals. Yes, one should know, it may be an MD or an CEO of an organization should know which department will be helpful to get an relative status of an organization, and we should know which department will operations will fulfill to achieve the goals very quickly, and this is also called as an decibel system. And for an example, we can say a manufacturing company or an enterprise which manufactures soaps and detergents, it is identified that sales and advertising branches or a departments plays an important role, because it is directly gives an information what they are producing in their company, so it plays an important role. The next process is determining levels at which various types of decisions are to be made. A company head or an organization head should know the levels at which the decisions are to be made. Sometimes the decisions may be a major or a minor. At which level they have to be taken, he should know. The company or an organization should decide how much decentralization of authority has to be made. Here decentralization is nothing but giving a freedom to take a decision or an authority in an employees level, it may be, or it may be an managerial level. Yes, extreme decentralization may lead to loss of control. Yes, if there is an extreme decentralization, then the control will not be there for an head of the organization. If the extreme centralization becomes a more problematic, again it may lead to a failure at the, because at the right time decisions may not be taken because of an extreme centralization, and delay causes an effects again over here, and it may cause breakdown of morale of an employees also. Therefore, the top management should know or should take careful decision that in which level or which levels they need to take in decisions to get a more effective and efficient objectives to be covered. Next step is deciding the span of management. Yes, one has to decide the span of a management, that is number of subordinates supports in an executive group of people. It may be an directly. Once again I am repeating, it is an directly who are supporting an executive committee. And if the narrower the span of a management, it will be having a larger or a taller structure at several levels of management, and it is increases the financial burden as well as a complication of communication will be exist. Then this, because of this reason, flat structure of is generally desirable for any management. Next step is setting up a coordination mechanism. The proper coordination plays a vital role in various departments of an organization. It may be an individual or it may be a group of people to run a show or a run smooth enterprises with successful manner. Yes, for example, if there is no coordination or there is an conflicts, then the completion of the task may not be happen at the specified time. So overall goals of an organization become submerged. Therefore, effective coordination and mechanism is required in a company to get sufficient or an efficient goals to be completed. The next topic is principles of an organization. Any organization should have an certain principles. The organization will work on the principles. The principles is the strength of an organization, I can say it. Depending upon that principles, the activities of a group is conducted and the coordination of an organization units is promoted. Then the manager will able to exercise or to check whether the individual person in a company is working in an efficient manner or not, depending upon these principles. Some of the most useful principles of an organization is given below. First principle is scalar principle in an organization. It states that a person from a top level management to an each and every person of a subordinate will have a responsibility to take a decision making for an effective completion of goals in a organization. Principle of delegation by results expected. This is a second step. Here each and every subordinate will report to an superior authorities or a superior person, and no superior person can't escape by the responsibilities of an decision making in an organization. The next one is principle of parity of authority and responsibility. It states that no one in an organization is exempted from taking a responsibility for their actions. It may be a low level or a level 1 employees to a top level employees. Next, principle of unity of command. Yes, always in an organization there should be one command pass on to all the employees in an organization, which results an effective completion of goals. If there is a more number of commands, then there will be a conflict of instructions, which will be again it will increases the confusion in an employees. Next level is authority level principle. It states an delegation is nothing but an higher level authority people requires an individual manager should be there to monitor each and every one person in an organization. The other principles of our organization related to achievement of objectives are given below. That is, first one is principles of unity of objectives. That means it should have a single objectives so that all the individuals will work for that objectives. Next, principle of organizational efficiency. It is nothing but the structure of hiding the accomplishment is the minimum unsought out sequences are caused. The specialization. Here in any organization should or should promote specialization. If there is an huge group of people with a specialized skills, they can achieve and goals very easily. So the organization should promote specialization. Next, span of management. As earlier we have discussed, there should be a limited number of peoples in a top level management. So here, and each manager can control maximum of 6 subordinates. And simplicity. The organization structure should be simple as simple so that there will be an effective communication and a coordination between a group of people in an organization. Next one, flexibility. The organization should be able to flexible according to a change in circumstances or a permissions or a there should be a flexibility to replacement and dislocation of complete structure at any given point of time. The balance. The balance is plays a main role in a centralization and decentralization of departments in an organization. It plays a very much important role. Unity in direction. If there is only one objective and one plan for each group, then they can complete the task very easily. So there should be only one objective for one group so that they can easily complete it. Personal ability. Yes, the people consist of in an organization should have a proper skills. So the placement or a training of a staff is to be done by an human resource and encourage management development programs. They will be responsible for getting a proper skilled people in an organization. If is lacking, any of the employee is lacking, then they should give a training for that person. The next topic is span of control. The span of control is nothing but the span of control or a span of supervision or a span of authority or a span of responsibility taken by a group of people. Yes, how long years you can control an organization or supervise a group of people. That indicates the number of people who directly report to an higher authorities. Example, a manager. How many members going to communicate to him directly? Well, the purpose of management is to make a human cooperation more effective. And the reasons of or levels of management is a limitation of span of management. Here, the coordination between or a cooperation between humans who are working in an organization plays a very important role. So there is a levels of management, so they can achieve goals very easily. Then organizational levels exist in every company with a limited number of managers, so that they can supervise easily and effectively. They can get results very easily. This limit number of persons managers can supervise effectively various depending upon the situations and types of organization. So this is called as a span of control or span of management. Thank you for watching this video.